All right, let's swim through some garbage. And like we just said, we're gonna let you
It's all
take it away
garbage.
on this one. There's gonna be not much to say, but obvious things to say. But yeah, why don't you educate us on what you think this is?
Well, here we go. I mean, I've done this, I feel like, a couple weeks in a row, so we might as well make it a goddamn feature. But we went down the rabbit hole of Trump's True Social feed. Actually, in this case, I think
Oh
this was
yeah.
I think he popped into Twitter to say this. I don't even think this is True Social.
Yeah, I found it on
Actually,
X. Obviously, I don't have an
yeah.
account, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
But anyways, so he tweeted something along the lines of, "He who saves his country does not violate any law." Which, wow,
No, it's objectively
a lot of baggage to that sentence.
like anti-constitution, like
It
objectively
that is,
anti-constitution.
yeah, that is monarchy talk, is what that is. It is just shitting on any sort of checks or balance.
Yep, like it
This,
doesn't
you know
matter.
what? The notion that underpins this sentence right here is just the notion that, like, there is no institution in the country that you can trust. He is going to have to violate all the laws because everything's broken, and he's the one that can save us.
I alone can save us. Yeah, all right, I guess
Yeah.
we'll find out. We know he
Yeah.
won't, but I guess we'll find out.
Well, my thing here
Yeah.
is, I just it upsets me. Like, if Joe Biden tweeted this, right? And I don't even
Dude, but the double
particularly.
standard has been there for so long. But go ahead. Go ahead.
But I guess I really want to emphasize the point that it doesn't matter who is saying this sentiment.
No,
It
it's
should be
horrible.
unacceptable from whoever it is.
It's hot
I don't care
garbage,
if it
no
is Mother Teresa and she's president somehow and she tweets that. No, that's still fucking problematic because I don't trust anybody, any one person with the discretion of acting above the law. I just don't. Certainly not Donald
No.
Trump. Anybody at all. So this should piss off anybody, I think.
Just our
So
basic
that's wild.
understanding of checks and balances, even on society. Like he doesn't want any oversight on him, which is never a good scenario in like any situation, like public at least, public related, like when you're the president or you know what I'm saying. So, I look, my only thought was like, bro, until we've said this before, we'll keep doing these and we'll have a grand old time doing them. And I'm gonna
Sure.
keep saying it, like until material negative effects are felt, nothing matters. Dude, even the statement doesn't matter. Like, who's gonna what is this actually gonna do to change any goddamn thing? It's not going to. He's going to be able to kind of do what he wants. He says shit like this, and then he could have more aggressive executive orders than he's done if he truly believes this shit that he tweets. Some of it's performative because this motherfucker
Yeah, but
knows
it's
how
not
to do that.
even.
But
Yeah.
like, until it's felt, nothing matters, bro. Nothing
Sure.
matters. This is horrible.
Sure.
This should be impeachment qualifying for like any fucking president. But it's
It's
not
a
gonna
wild
be.
statement to make.
But it's not gonna
Sure.
be, and nothing's gonna matter until people are actually like materially affected in a pretty large way, which is sad.
But there's
Hope
just
they keep my
such a
job.
large. There's such a crazy amount of cynicism that underpins a statement like this. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things
Like
where
from Donald Trump, he has cynicism. What do you mean by that?
anybody that sort of agrees with the sentiment, because
Oh,
they're
anybody
just
that agrees
of
with it is a scumbag. Oh, no doubt. Go ahead.
well, they just think the institutions are a lost cause, right?
Yeah,
like
they just think nothing
if there's-
matters. They just think nothing like nothing matters. Okay, nothing matters. Because if the law
I think
doesn't matter, then nothing matters. So.
But I think
Tough.
they think that if you give Trump the power to undermine the law, he could bring us back into a space where the law isn't like that anymore. You know what I mean? It feels like they justify it because he's fixing the system.
But the problem is they don't use
Break
more
the system
than
because
3
he's
brain
fixing it.
cells dancing in coordination to think through the fact that Trump will also have the power to do whatever he wants, including bad things. Like, for some reason, they always talk about, well, he has to break the law to bring us back to prosperity. It's like, okay, when we're at prosperity and we all hold hands, Trump still gets to do whatever the fuck he wants? What do you think he's going to do? He's going to steal a bunch of money, homie. That's what the man does. So that's
also
where
not
it's
gonna
really
give you-
frustrating, because you dance with 2 brain cells to be like, well, I can rub these together and say that it'll make it better. But then, like, you don't think about the greater, like, implications and consequences of that. You just think in your one linear track, and we're all headed towards hell.
Well, yeah. I think it's bad. It's bad any way you slice it. But I think the people that are part of Trump's sort of executive power are problematic. But it all ultimately does run through Trump, and I don't think he's as bad. And I think he's selfish. I don't think he's malicious.
You don't think he's selfish, but go ahead.
He's for sure selfish. I don't think he's fully malicious. I think he's malicious to people who have bruised his ego. But the point being that even if you give somebody like this the sort of blank check that you want to, whoever supports this sentiment, means that any president can flex that muscle, and you don't have shit to say about it.
No, it doesn't, because if he can just violate the law, then he's going to say, "Oh, I'm president till I'm dead," because nothing matters. Okay, so he can just be like, "Oh, I'm president till I'm dead."
The next. Apply this to any president. It's fucking problematic.
I know where you're coming from with it.
President Bernie Sanders, and he tweeted that out. Could you imagine the fucking outrage? And rightfully so, because we don't.
You're right.
Yeah, it's just frustrating.
You're
right. That's
just
crazy.
Don't give a shit, dude. They don't give a shit. They don't have integrity. These people we're talking about, they don't. They don't care.
Well, they're just fine. You know what it is they're fine with. They're fine with breaking all these norms because it's their guy. But there's no understanding that if we all did this, if every president did this, it's a big fucking problem for all of us.
Because they don't have 3 brain cells that dance together. And I'm trying to think about why they do excuse their guy when they wouldn't, like the double standard. Like we all know the obvious reasons for double standard, but I can't really I don't know, man. Is it just they know that they know that they're acting with zero integrity and max hypocrisy and just not give a fuck? Or are they aware and they don't care because the ends justify? I don't fucking know.
Sure.
Man. I don't know, but it sucks. And again, on that path to hell, we continue on.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Sure.
I don't think it's gonna be earth-shattering, regime-changing this presidency, but it's gonna be tough.
Setting these precedents are problematic.
For sure. I would,
because somebody walks along and they go, "Oh, the executive power has 0 checks on it." And if
I were you, me, or anybody, I would keep my eye on elections, maybe starting towards the middle of this year. You've got to give the administration time to let things be recalibrated to their way. That's the biggest worry for me, for sure, because I think historical politics, even in the Trump era, shows that Trump's not on the ballot. 26 Republicans are in power. Democrats should do well and take the House. They should. And
sure,
but are there things, because again, look at the statement on the screen, and knowing that people are power hungry, are there things they can do that they're just going to hand wave and say these are legal, that are pretty crippling? Yo, I know exactly. That's going to be tough.
That is,
what I'm saying, bro. That's going to be tough. Anyway,
that is a big fucking vulnerability for sure. And you have to hope the only thing that holds that accountable at that point is the courts.
Kills me, man. Kills me.
Yeah, that is tough, because that is genuinely it's just, you've lost your democracy at that point.
I think I sent you and I read
yeah,
we literally are at a point where people are in society like this, where I sent to you and I read some guy was like, "Oh, I feel betrayed by the administration because I'm losing my job." It's like, bro, you were a federal worker and they campaigned on cutting $3 trillion from the budget, and you didn't do the math in your head and say to yourself, maybe I'm on the chopping block. He'll get into power. It's now you're doing the whoa, hold on. I thought it was them, not me. It's tough. It's tough. This is who we're dealing with.
Wow. I mean, he didn't think the leopards were going to eat his face.
That is I guess that's what the kids say. I see that online, and I've Googled that to understand what that means. But yes, that's what it's not great.
I think that's based on an old... Sure, anyway.
Yeah.